Welcome to Raider Talks. I am your host, Art Navarrete, here alongside Nick Ibarra. We're going to talk about some of the Raider transactions this week, Monday. And then also, we're going to talk a little bit about Gruden, Mayock, and how some of the questionable things they did are going to affect McDaniels and Zieglers Raiders. So first, we're going to start off with some of the things that have happened. First of all, Mullen has gotten traded for a 2024 7th round conditional pick. How do you feel about that?
You know, if this was a good move,
Nick Mullen, by the way, quarterback Nick Mullen.
And I think, Stidham looked good, and, he's going to be the number 2. So you try to get rid of Mullen's contract because I knew that one was guaranteed.
Yeah.
So you didn't want to eat that. I think either it was $1 or $2 million that he was guaranteed, because he came in before Stidham. They traded for Stidham later. So I think it was a good thing. You unload his contract, that guaranteed money, and for some reason, if he's active on the Vikings roster, you get a 7th round pick. And I think that was a good move. If you have no intention of him being on the 53-man roster, get him out of there. And we did it in a good, easy way.
And you get your money back.
And and you don't.
And you also give him a chance to get on another team.
Give him a chance. You get no hit. Good move.
Yeah. And then coming out today, Kenyan Drake will be released or traded. The Raiders on the hook for $2.5 million this year and $4 million next year. We already paid him $1.5 million this year, so really $3.5 million this year and $4 million next year. Kenyan Drake is a guy we really liked, but it just seemed like he didn't fit on this roster, and he was really the odd man out of the running backs in all these preseason games so far.
That was one of our questions. What are we going to do with Drake? Drake, obviously made the trip to Miami, was playing kind of late. We didn't know what was going on. We said, you're not going to find a trade. You're going to have to trade him, and you might not find a trade partner for him because of that contract.
Yes.
And now it's going to come back to haunt us because in reality, we paid $11 million for him to only play a half a season with us. He got hurt last year, and in reality, you pay $11 million with the hits you're going to take these next 2 years, in which you paid him last year and already this year. $11 million for a half a season.
And that's obviously part of, the regime of John Gruden. John Gruden and Mayock. So that's one of the guys.
Yeah.
And then we have some more guys we're going to talk about as well and some things they did. And then the Raiders signed a linebacker, Tay Davis. He's going to add some depth and competition to this Raider linebacker group. And then Patriots are shopping former first rounder offensive tackle Isaiah Wynn. He's had some injuries in the past, but he can add some depth to his Raiders team, and the Raiders do need a right tackle.
That's what we were talking about last video. Is the Raiders starting right tackle on the roster right now?
Yeah,
Patriots are currently shopping for him right now. We know that the Bill Belichick is going to be in Vegas this week.
Yeah, the Raiders are going to be able to get a good look at him.
And a good look. I think McDaniels and him can talk, and Ziegler.
Yeah,
they were all Patriot guys, and I think maybe something can happen knowing that they're there. We get a good look at him, and just the relationship that all three of them have.
Yeah, there's no legit rumor linking him to the Raiders or anything.
It's just a thought.
But it's a thought. Raiders need a right tackle. Patriots are coming in to practice with the Raiders, so the Raiders are going to get a good look at him. And obviously, McDaniels and Ziegler probably know him well already.
Yeah, and he knows McDaniels' offense, the way he wants his line to be. So I think if you're going to go out and get somebody, this might be the perfect option.
Yeah,
a former Patriot, or would be a former Patriot, knows the offense, and from what I hear, a pretty good right tackle. Yeah,
he is owed $10 million, so that's probably why the Patriots want to get rid of him.
Yeah.
And injury history, he's a solid right tackle, not a all-pro right tackle, so that's probably why they're trying to get rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
But he could be a very solid right tackle for the Raiders right now, and he'll be he'll be the best right tackle we got if he's on the roster right now.
The best option we have.
Have for sure now. And now we'll get going to this, what everyone's here to talk about, here to see. Gruden, Mayock, how is that going to affect McDaniels and Ziegler's Raiders? Nick, how's that going to happen? And starting off with Kenyan Drake.
And I think that was a question that, that we texted about today, and it started with Drake. questionable moves. And I get, last year was a different offense than this, and Gruden, got fired midseason, and, a whole lot of stuff happened. But it was crazy. And at that time, I was like, $11 million for Kenyan Drake, we got Josh Jacobs, we got Richard, but then you kind of think, okay, cool, let's think about it, let's whatever. And he really didn't produce much last year. I know he got hurt, and then you come in and it seems like he was running scared a little bit. If that injury kind of,
affected his play a little bit.
Yeah, he was haunted by it.
Yeah.
So, and then now it's with that dead money hit and whatever, and it's just the Raiders are going to pay him. And it's not Ziegler and McDaniels' fault.
No.
And I think they're coming in and says, I don't care your situation. I don't care how long you've been here. And I don't care what your money situation is or contract situation. If you're not a fit for us, or if we don't want you, you're not going to be a Raider.
Yes.
And that's the part I like. The only thing that sucks about it is how much money we have to eat up and how much money we paid him for the 7-8 games that he did play as a Raider.
Yeah, and he only played half a season.
Yeah.
And that's a good chunk of money, especially for a running back in today's football.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's talk about some other guys. Let's talk about Alex Leatherwood being a first-round draft pick.
Yeah, I mean... And then
it's not looking good right now.
Let's get into that one, too. I mean, he got benched in a preseason game. In a preseason game, he got benched.
Game that don't mean nothing.
And and he got beat by the first string defense and second string defense.
Yep.
And it sucks, and it sucks because it's
it's a waste of a draft pick.
It's a waste of a value. The value of that pick.
First round draft pick is supposed to make an impact, a huge impact. At least be a solid player, but Alex Leatherwood is below average right now.
Yeah,
and this is his second season.
Yeah,
and you're hoping he gets better, and it seems like he hasn't gotten better. It seems like he's actually regressed, because at the beginning of last year he was just okay. We were already questioning it. We questioned the pick when he got picked. First of all, there's other players better than him.
You question the pick, and you try to convince yourself, hey, this is a good thing.
Yeah,
they know what they're doing.
Yeah,
and then he goes to right tackle, struggles a lot, goes inside to guard, and still has its moments. He had some games where the running game was cool, but the penalties and not holding up well is what killed him.
Yeah.
And coming into this season, you think, okay, well, let him a real full season, full off season, get good, get healthy, be good. And it hasn't worked out.
Yeah.
And now we're sitting here going into this fourth preseason game. He just got benched. He doesn't look good at all in camp. And, it's got us. I asked the question, is there a possible way where he doesn't make this 53-man roster?
Yeah, you never know. He might have to trade him. Will someone want him in a trade? You never know with Leatherwood. And then you wanted to mention some other guys. Let's talk about some other guys also. I mean, okay. First, we're talking about how it's affecting this roster. We're not going to talk about Ruggs or anything. That's just they're gone.
That's already gone. That's already
talking about guys on this roster. There may be some things that could have affected the future. So
you also got Cleveland
Farrell,
and I looked at his contract. He is due, I think, $9-point-something million this season.
Yeah,
and for him to,
he's our second highest paid edge rusher.
Yes, and for him to be there, and now he's switching to maybe outside linebacker. We still haven't seen any of him.
We haven't seen him on the field.
Yeah, even practice anything. We haven't seen, and it's just. If we're gonna pay that money, and last year we saw a lot of him on just special teams.
Yeah,
that's you can't pay that just for a special team.
Yeah, and he's another first round draft pick, and like I said, a first round draft pick is supposed to make an immediate impact, and then impact the team for 5 years plus.
This one even makes me more mad because he was at number 4.
Yeah.
Cleveland was at number 4.
A lot of other defensive players that were better than him.
Josh Allen was out there.
Yes.
The linebacker.
Yes.
The defensive guy, Josh Allen, was out there. And, you look, and, it's more what ifs and whatever, but, what was Gruden and Mayock thinking? Were they trying to outsmart everybody?
And it's affecting this roster because that's just an extra guy there. That's just wasted money now for Ziegler and McDaniels. It might be easier looking at Dominic Sue if they don't make these decisions, or I don't.
No, it's because you don't want all your money. Your money's, like I said, and when I say waste, you have $4 million that you wasted on Kenyan Drake kind of this year. You know, you're wasting almost $10 million with Cleveland this year.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not too sure about Leatherwoods, but he ain't worth what he's making right now.
No.
And I know he was a first round pick, so he's making some money.
He's making a good money. Good
you
amount of
know,
money.
and so some of these decisions are affecting it in the way in the money way because, like you said, is the money situation is what's holding up Sue? Because I know he wants $9-10 million.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he wants to go to the Raiders or the Vikings.
Yeah.
But it seems like the amount is too high. But
yes.
What if we never signed Kenyan Drake? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think.
And if we do have these guys, we want them to make an impact on this team, especially for the value.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of tough.
Yeah. Tough. You know, you see other teams and they're led by their first round picks, and you know they hit on this, and you know even the more better teams that have picks 25 through 32, it seems like they always kind of hit.
Yeah.
You know, they draft late in day one, but they still find people.
Yeah.
You know, and while us for quite some time, we draft early. We know within the first hour of the NFL draft who we're going to get, you know, and their names already called.
It's the fact that it seems like our first 1 to 3 round draft picks are missing, and those are the ones that are supposed to be for sure's. But then we are getting some great players late.
Yeah.
I mean, Max Crosby, Hunter Renfrow, you name it.
Yeah.
We got Josh Jacobs. We got Josh Jacobs actually in the first round.
Yeah.
Late first round. Right?
Yes.
But yeah, we have some good players on this roster that they did get, but the guys that they did fail on is kind of haunting us just a little bit here. Just a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you know, I think the first rounds, whatever, and we actually did a really good job. And I thought Gruden did a really good job of, hey, we're going to rebuild. Mm-hmm. You know, first coming in, he got rid of Coop, he got rid of Mack. You know, I think the Mack one hurt us because he just came off of a decent season.
Yeah.
You know, he was a year away from, you know, defensive player of the year. You know, and you go get what you got for him. And I think that one, if you look at it, was Josh Jacobs, Arnett, and Brian Edwards. And right now, it's just Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Cleo's on the Chargers.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
And I think I think he's been decent for a season and a half.
Yeah.
You know, you go trade Coop and we get Abram.
Yeah.
You know, and I think Abram's starting to come into his own a little bit, but I mean, you trade away.
He hasn't been worth it yet.
Yes, you trade away your best defense player and your best wide receiver, and I'm not talking crap about these guys, but all you have to show for it is Josh Jacobs and Jonathan Abram.
Yes.
And
just two solid players.
Yeah.
That are first rounders that you want to make it more of an impact.
Yeah.
Because Jacobs hasn't, he played great at the end of the season. He helped us get to the playoffs last year, and you hope to see that again this year. You did see him run hard, but he needs to really put a good full season together for us to be like, he had a
great rookie season.
Yes.
Play came down a little bit in the second season with injuries and stuff, and I think last year came into his own in the last 4 or 5 weeks. Was a big part of the reason why we went to the playoffs, and you hope he builds off of that. And when he looked at the Hall of Fame game, he looked amazing.
Yes, he looked good.
So I'm excited about that. You know, like we said, Abrams coming into his own, but still, you want these guys to be fully developed and ready to go coming into, is it year four now, right?
Yes.
For this draft class?
Yes.
You know, and they're kind of none of their options got picked up. You know, Josh Jacobs was a question mark if he was going to be the starting running back on this team. You know, Abram is still playing, and, you know, all the starters are at home. Abram's still playing.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going on with Cleveland, you know, and it's some of these questionable moves are just like, you know, other teams, and I hate comparing, but other teams, you know, they're hitting with their
first round draft picks. They're getting superstars.
Yeah,
game changers. Guys are changing the game for them.
Yeah,
and we're not.
And you would think we had 3 chances that one draft. Yeah. Cleveland, Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Abram. We had 3 chances, and I think we picked the most in day one. We had 3 chances, and I think we could say I
don't think none of them have lived up to the value of a first round draft pick, especially in today's NFL, where a running back like Jeff Jacobs' caliber can get picked in the 3rd or 4th round.
Yeah,
because you know running backs aren't as valuable as they were back in the day. You know that they're kind of rotating in and out.
Yeah,
in and out of the league because they get banged up really fast. Running backs run a lot, have a lot of wear and tear. So the value of that pick I love Josh Jacobs out of the draft.
Yeah.
But it's not a first rounder.
Yeah.
Not a first rounder, but the season could come up and he could be a first rounder.
Yeah.
But right now, as we're sitting at this table, before the season has even started, he is not the value of a first round draft pick.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing to show out of that.
And
out of that,
yeah.
that draft class, the first round of that draft class, because Jonathan Abram has not been a first round talent, not even close.
No.
Josh Jacobs at least has been close.
Yeah.
Not Abram.
Showed signs of it.
And Farrell, I mean, his first season I thought he was solid. His second season I thought, okay, he can be pretty good. And then after that,
yeah,
it's just been a really big fall off for
And then,
Clee.
he gets benched and, and does all this. And
I mean, it seems like he was just a special teamer last year.
He was just a special teamer. And I remember we joked, I said, man, I hope he's an all-pro special teamer if, if we're paying him that and picked him that high, But, some of these moves are just, like for real.
Yeah.
And I know we said we're not going to talk about it, whatever, but, like, even the Damon Arnett situation. Yeah. Like, and I know what he did, what got him cut, but he did not look good at all.
No, he was horrible.
And we picked him early.
Yeah.
And so it's
and
just...
we didn't like him coming out of the draft. I mean, how many times have we talked about this? That we did not like Arnett coming out of the draft.
Yeah.
At all. Not even close.
And that was the only one where we picked it, hey, Raiders select Damon Arnett, and we looked, and even the announcers were look like, well, and so...
he was projected late third, fourth.
But, and I think you
Not
can...
even.
I think you can
Late
also say with the Gruden and Mayock, if you want to look at the good, they did select Colton Miller.
Yes,
and I
did.
think after year one, you were looking, and it could have been on that bad side.
Yeah.
But he just got so much better, and he's a really good left tackle now. You go get Max Crosby in the fourth round, I think, third, fourth round.
Yeah.
And now look at him, and Hunter Renfrow, they got extensions. They're ready to go. I think that's that's some of the things that we can be grateful for as Raider fans and be like, man, they did really good in the middle rounds, but I think the questionable free agent signings, I think the questionable draft picks kind of affects a little bit of this.
They come together and they affect this team just a little bit, money-wise, where they might hesitate to go get, like we said, Ndamukong Suh. They don't want all that, pay him all that money. Mm-hmm. It might affect going and trying to get, Isaiah Wynn.
Yeah,
$10 million. You never know. You just never know.
And you know what too. I know we're talking about this season about McDaniels and Ziegler, how they kind of affected this one, but we can even talk about last season a little bit. With them releasing LaMarcus Joyner and Tyrell Williams, and even Corey Littleton. This thing it saves us a little bit of money, but you still took that hit.
Yeah, you're still taking hits with a lot of these guys that we got paid big money to, kind of older guys also.
Yeah.
Kind of guys out of their prime. Mm-hmm. So it has affected us a little bit. Is there anything you want to leave us on?
I just think it's what we've seen is, and I like how McDaniels and Ziegler put their foot down and said, I don't care how long you've been here.
Yeah.
I don't care what your contract situation is or whatever. If we don't see you as a Raider, you're done. We'll take the hit.
Yeah, I think exactly the way you think. I'm glad they came in, like you said, put their foot down, let their balls hang, and said, you know what? If you're not good enough to be on this roster, you're not good enough to be on this roster.
And they saw it.
Yeah, I don't care if you're a first-round draft pick. I don't care if you're an undrafted free agent. I don't care if you're making the most money on the team. You got to work for a spot, and that's what makes this team better. And I think that's what's going to help lead us to be a really good football team and a Super Bowl caliber football team is making the right decisions and not going based off money things.
And I don't think they're waiting for these guys to be superstars.
No, they're not waiting. We're trying to win a Super Bowl now. Trying to win a Super Bowl now. McDaniels and Ziegler aren't losers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not. It's not a process for them. It's a process to win the Super Bowl every season. Mm-hmm. It's not a process 3 or 4 years down the line. Okay, we're going to be good. We're going to build a good roster.
Yeah. And they came in, knew what they wanted. Hey, we're going to build around Carr, Max, and Renfrow.
Yes.
Got Devontae, got what they wanted, and weeded out some of the guys that they didn't want. And it started with Brian Edwards when we traded him.
Yep.
Now with Drake, all Mayock and Gruden guys, and we're still a week away from the 53-man roster
and we're still
coming out.
cutting down. And Tuesday, tomorrow, actually today, while you're watching this, they're going to make 5 more cuts.
3 more. Or for sure 3 more cuts.
For sure
3 or 4 more cuts.
For sure 3 more cuts.
Two are already off the roster.
Yeah, for sure 3 more cuts. and you never know who they're going to be.
You never know, and it's going to be one of those things. Not sad to see them go, but you could see Leatherwood and maybe even Cleveland not make this team. And I think that one would be not sad to see them go, but the value.
I think it's more likely we see Cleveland go.
I think so.
And it's more, Cleveland goes. I think that's more likely.
There's really no room. A little bit.
But Leatherwood, he's gonna get every opportunity until that last final cut.
Yeah.
And if he just plays solid, he's gonna make this team because of the value. And, if he just plays solid. I know we talked about how they put their foot down, but if he just plays solid, he's going to make this team.
Yeah.
Because it's not like we have a bunch of great offensive tackles on our team. But if he just keeps, playing bad the way he is, he's not going to make this roster.
I think you said it best because of the position groups.
Yes.
It's not like we're stacked at the offensive line. We're stacked defensively at the edge rushers, and we don't know how Cleveland's going to do at linebacker, or outside linebacker. So I think you said it best. I think it's more Cleveland maybe than Leatherwood, but still, you would like to see them be superstars or at the value that they were picked at.
Yes. And at least be a starter on the football field.
And coming in year 4 for Cleveland, year 2 with Leatherwood, year 2 looking like he's regressing, and year 4 with Cleveland's not even playing or practicing, not knowing what's going on, and defense is gelling, defense is looking good.
Yeah.
Does he have a role in this team? Does he have a spot? And we'll find out about all these guys.
The answer is
probably
not.
And we'll find out in these next coming weeks.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. The Raiders do have a football game this week, this Friday, and then a couple-week break, and we're playing the Chargers opening week. Man, in SoFi Stadium, it's gonna be fun. It's
getting real.
It's gonna be a fun, nice home game.
It's getting real. This preseason took. It's been short. I know we've had us and Jaguars have had 4 games, so we had the longest preseason. We started early and everything, and now that camp and preseason's coming to an end. It came and went.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was just yesterday we were here doing our first show about the Jags and Raiders, the Hall of Fame game, and now we're sitting here talking about potentially the 53-man roster and the season previews, and now Charger week coming up, and this is exciting, and we're getting ready for the regular season, and I'm just ready to see this place packed out in a regular season game.
Yep, it's exciting. We're excited. We hope you guys are excited also. We'll see you next time. Go Raiders.
Go Raiders.